Why do you think we are doing this? We are doing this because aspirations of New Delhi alone don't matter. Aspirations for the rest of the country do. I mean, when Mr. Gandhi stands up in Parliament and says that the highest posting for a bureaucrat is to become a secretary in the government of India, and there are 90 such secretaries, only 3 OBCs, but the numbers are startling. I mean, you look at the Bihar caste survey that has come, 64% OBCs. What's their representation? Forget about that. Look at central universities. The central universities have today an IIT between SC, ST and OBC together has 9% of its faculty. IIMs have 6% of their faculty. Are you telling me they're children of lesser God and they don't have the mental faculties to be there? Absolutely they do. I think they've been denied opportunities, and which is where aspiration also comes from. Aspiration is not confined to the English-speaking, influential New Delhi crowd. I think aspiration comes from rural hinterland India. When Mr. Gandhi was walking in the Bharat Jodo Yatra, the kind of people we met, old, young, poor, rich, small businesses, large businesses, they had one thing to say, that we have aspirations to be heard. Who's hearing us? So I think aspiration also has a very different meaning for people. For somebody, it could be aspirational that his voice or her voice is be heard. You know, the kind of interactions he's had after meeting truck drivers. Why do you think he's meeting truck drivers? I mean, he's not a photo op guy. He's meeting truck drivers because he believes that they have aspirations which are not being met. A mechanic in Delhi, why is he meeting them? Why do you think he's meeting students in Mukherjee Nagar who are preparing for civil services? Because you have to first listen to people to be able to address their aspirations.
You said this is a dangerous slogan because there is a sort of numerical majoritarianism attached to it. And today, if you attach it to caste, tomorrow you could attach it to religion, and tomorrow you could attach it to, delimitation. Is this a dangerous thing? Because tomorrow southern states will not get, if the constituencies are redrawn. How far can you take numbers equal policy or allocation of resources?
I think representation is very important. And I think when he says Jitni Abadi, Utna Haq, or when we say Jitni Abadi, Utna Haq, we are talking about representation. I mean, look at the Bihar data. I will go back and say 84% SC, STs, OBCs. What is their representation? I mean, in central universities, there are 4% professors who come from the OBC community and 6% associate professors. Are you telling me that, and seemingly there are 50 to 51% OBCs in this country, are you telling me half this country's population can constitute only 4% professors in our central universities, 6% in IIMs, 9% in IITs? I think those are bizarre. That's bizarre data, and that data tells you that policy intervention is required. I don't think it's dangerous. I'll tell you why. If you want to stretch the argument, you can always stretch it in any way. I think it's the BJP which is stretching it, connoting to what you've said. But I think when we say Jitni Abadi Utna Haq, we are essentially saying that the marginalized communities who have been marginalized for centuries need to be given their due. They need to be brought to the center stage of policy making. Why should 90 secretaries in the government of India have only 3 OBCs who control less than 5% of the union budget? Why?
So is the next step to increase the quota cap, which anyway has been changed with the economically weaker section reservation that the Supreme Court
I think the point that has been made, and I think it's a very well articulated point, is that we stand for the caste census. The caste census is the X-ray which will tell how broken the bone is. We will follow it up with a financial survey, with an economic survey, which will tell you the strata within the strata, which will tell you how exactly are the OBCs.
Would you want
placed.
other Congress-run states to also have a
I think we've already committed. Rajasthan has just announced a caste-based survey.
Chhattisgarh has not released its findings though.
I think yesterday this question was asked of Mr. Gandhi, and he said very categorically that both Karnataka and other states that have had surveys, we are thinking about how and when to release it. But Rajasthan, for instance, has just announced a survey. Bihar has come out with something. We're in coalition there. I think increasingly states will be under pressure and should be under pressure. I mean, what representation does the BJP want to talk about? You've got 10 chief ministers, out of which one is an OBC, and he's also on his way out in Madhya Pradesh. We've got 4 chief ministers, 3 of them are OBC. So when you talk about representation, you can't rattle that we've got some ex-ministers. Everybody knows how empowered ministers in this government are. If you really want to empower the OBCs, appoint more OBCs as chief ministers, appoint more women as chief ministers.